watching the very first episode of the Piper Report, where we will be bringing you a bi-weekly newscast throughout the school year. Our goal is to highlight stories from across the campus and bring you the latest exciting news that makes Hamline community so unique. Logan Schumacher will also be starring in this production. I'm Zachary Knudsen, reporting from the new Anderson Center, which has become the centerpiece of Hamline University. Today's broadcast includes a look at the new service memorial installed after the completion of the Anderson Center, a look at Halloween festivities, a cabaret update, as well as a look at what Hamline's doing to show their support for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Plus, a special interview with a professor dealing with the harsh realities cancer brings to millions of Americans. All of this coming up.
Well, as I'm sure most of you have noticed by now, Old Main has been looking a little pink for the month of October. At the beginning of the month, Facilities Services took on the task of changing over all the lights in order to join the Light the Town Pink campaign to show support for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. According to Ken Deckis, Director of Facilities Operations, the lights took over 3 hours to change, and the effect was achieved by adding color film to some of the lights, as well as changing over some of the bulbs. This is the second year the change has occurred, and is sponsored by the Women's Resource Center.
I had the opportunity to hear Religion Professor Deanna Thompson's journey through a life-altering diagnosis and how she remains positive through her difficult reality and how she serves as an inspiration to all of us.
I am Deanna Thompson and I teach in the religion department. Fall of 2008, I had back pain for most of the summer and I was lifting weights for the first time, so I thought I pulled a muscle, and so I didn't do anything to really investigate that for pretty much the whole summer. MRI showed that I had a fractured vertebra, and so essentially I had a broken back. I had to have a biopsy on my back because they saw some fluid in there that looked suspicious. And the doctor said, "We're pretty sure it's not cancer, but we want to be sure." And so then I had a biopsy, and then that came back in December saying that it was stage 4 cancer. I found finally that there was a tumor in my breast, and that was the diagnosis. So the breast cancer broke my back. And it took me a while to understand how few people actually live very long with this disease. Right now I'm doing quite well. I'm not supposed to live very long, but we really can't, as people tell me to, we really can't focus on what's supposed to happen. Like, what are we going to do when we retire? I don't think I'll make it to retirement. We don't have a lot of those conversations. Today is about all I can kind of control, and so I try to spend my time focused on the present, and rather than trying to be too consumed with, will I be here in 6 months? Will I be here in a year? Try to avoid that, and some days I'm more successful than others.
Right.
Both of my girls are teenagers, and for that time in their life, I think kind of stability, normalcy, it's just like trying to make it as normal as possible. I think there's a lot of good things about having a month where we're becoming more aware of what breast cancer does and how many, it kills about 40,000 people a year. It's a very serious diagnosis, and so I think more awareness is always good. One thing that's been encouraging for me is that this month I've seen for the first time more media attention on the stage 4 people like me. I've just received so much grace from people who've kind of entered my life in response to what's gone on, and a lot of it's been very surprising and unexpected. I want to help people think about how we can hope for more together. What does hope look like in the face of really awful things?
Have you been wondering what this metal structure is? This structure, built after the completion of the Anderson Center, is called the Kenneth H. Dahlberg Memorial to Service, which was officially dedicated Tuesday, October 30th. Dahlberg was a Hamline University trustee emeritus who received an honorary Doctor of Humanities degree the university in 2002. This memorial celebrates Dahlberg's service as an Army Air Corps fighter pilot and triple ace in World War II and commemorates his success as an entrepreneur. Dahlberg is the inspiration behind this memorial, and his service to his country is embodied in the 5-point star that represents the insignia of the Army Air Corps. Hamline's key values, service, humanity, education, community, and faith, are also represented by each point of the star. The walls are built from perforated aluminum, which serves as a representation of the perforated metal airfields that were used by Dahlberg and others in the Army Air Corps. It also symbolizes the resourcefulness of those in service. Each wall panel stands at 11 feet 9 inches tall, a specific reference to the 119 Hamline students who were recruited and served in the Civil War, and the countless others who have served and continue to serve this country. One tree in the center, a butternut tree, signifies Dahlberg's entrepreneurial childhood, where he would collect fruit from the trees near his home and sell them to the community.
What you just saw was a clip from the upcoming production of the musical Cabaret, which will kick off Hamline University Theater's 82nd season. We're in the theater right now, and as you can tell, it's a little different because the audience gets to sit right next to the action. The show is set in 1931 as the Nazis are coming to power. The show is set in the Kit Kat Club, where a British lounge singer, Sandy Bowles, falls in love with the American writer Clifford Bradshaw. I recently interviewed one of the cast members, Martha Heil, about her experience with the show, and here's what she had to say.
It's amazing. The actors are wonderful, the songs are wonderful. It's going to be a good time.
The show opens this Friday, November 2nd, and runs through November 10th. You can get your tickets by contacting the Hamline box office. Well, Pipers, it's a creepy time of the year again, Halloween, the time when all the ghosts decide to come out and play. One thing Hamline does to celebrate the occasion is to host the annual Haunted Hallway event, which is put on by the Resident Hall Association. But most papers know you don't have to wait for just that one night to get your thrills on campus. Just ask anyone who spends time in Drew Hall, Manor, or Old Main. But hands down the most haunted spot on campus is Manor Hall. Now, I recently spoke to a resident there, Laura Devereaux, who shared a creepy experience with us.
Well, I live in Manor on the 3rd floor. And one day after me and my 2 roommates had left the room and came back, our doorstop was missing. And we looked everywhere for it and it wasn't anywhere to be found. And then a couple months later, one of my roommates was looking in her closet and her door was stuck. And then she looked around and we were like, well, we don't know what it is. And then my other roommate was like, it's probably our doorstop. And then she looked and she took out the doorstop and there it was in her closet. And we all freaked out.
Now, I'm going to leave it up to you whether you believe in ghosts or not, or whether Hamline is haunted. But either way, I hope you all have a fun and safe Halloween.
Hey Piper Sports fans, I'm Mira Mishchuk here to update you on what your Hamline athletes have been up to. This weekend marked the end for 3 fall sports teams. On Friday, volleyball ended their season with a disappointing loss against Augsburg. Men's soccer won their final game 10-0 against Finlandia, and women's soccer beat St. Kate's 1-0 on Saturday. The women's soccer team's final record was 12-5-1, which is the best in our school's history. Both men and women's hockey began their season this weekend. Men's hockey will host Eau Claire on Friday, while women's hockey will host St. Kate's on Saturday. Brendan Rudder and Nate Dobbins went 5th and 6th in the men's cross-country MIAC championships, and Maria Theisen finished 7th for the women. On Saturday, swimming and diving will host the Hamline Invite, with diving starting at 11 and swimming starting at 1 p.m. The men's football will finish off their season with 2 home games. This Saturday, they will play St. John's, and on November 10th, they will take on McAllister. For more information on Hamline Athletics, visit us on Facebook or Twitter, #GoHU.